Ready for another tile theory? Absolutely. So, typically, when one thinks of Batman and Robin, you see this in your head, or maybe this. All right, so let's get to it. Everyone knows since 2 years ago, the DC Absolute Batman games have been top of the charts in the comic world. So recently, DC has released images of the cover for Absolute Batman number 20, and whoa, those are some rockin' Robins. I have a theory about that. Look how big these robins are. And if you notice on their shoulders, it looks like you can see at least a couple numbers there. To me, it looks like there's 5 robins and they're probably labeled number 1 through 5, right? So check it out. We've already seen in the Absolute Universe that Dick Grayson exists. He looks like an adult. A lot of things have been sidetracked and just streamlined for the DC Absolute Universe. For example, like I said, Dick Grayson is now an adult. I believe these 5 Robins, the identities come from mainstream DC continuity. The most prominent Robins in the normal DC continuity are Dick Grayson, the first Robin, Jason Todd, the second Robin, killed by the Joker, Tim Drake, the third Robin, and the son of the Bat, Damian Wayne, the fourth Robin. So I feel like that's probably going to be at least four of those guys are going to be in those suits. There's also other candidates. We might get a Stephanie Brown in the suit. We might get a Cassandra Cain in the suit. We might get a Duke Thomas, other teenage sidekicks of Batman. Maybe even Barbara Gordon, who was a big help during the fight with Absolute Poison Ivy. She could be in the suit. Who knows? But hey, we got mecha-sized Robins to fight mecha-sized monsters. We've already seen what Absolute Bane looks like. And we've all seen those images of Absolute Joker being an absolute nightmare. Sometimes I think you might need some kaiju-sized birds to take down those monsters. All right, stay tuned for more. Peace.